street coming from the liquor mart. Goes right into it. Tony would be, you pick your lot, you pay the money, and he immediately start building your house.
Right.
And like 7 to 9 months later, he give you the keys. Your house is built. So when I had my house built, I didn't have to wait for no section or nothing like that. It was like, no, it was out my lot. I picked it, and my house was built. That's just the way it is. I was like, I like that. So if you see coming up here, Raze, on this side, all this is going to be a development too. There's a wall there. I don't know if they're going to go higher or whatever. But when we first came out here, this going to the left here through this gate here, they call that Echo Del Mar. And back there within that development, there's like, I wish it was open with drive. They got like 10, 20 different like people, like developers will buy a plot of land and they'll say, okay, I'm gonna build 10 houses here or 20 houses or 50 houses. And that's how they do it, right? They have villas, condos, and apartments. So that is Epic Residence, and they probably got 300 to maybe 500 units there, you know, houses and stuff like that. So it's real nice. They up and coming and came up. Straight ahead, where we're going is to my neighborhood. This is called Residencial Don Pablo. Like you said, 24-hour security. Come in, this is the old gate. That'll be the new gate whenever they get it up and running. And there's my security.
Hey, security.
Hola. So there he is. This is the new gate they're working on. And just to give you a quick tour, when we first came out here, the only thing I'm gonna take you down was this main street. And this is where Tony started. So he built these houses down this main street first. Okay?
Don Pablo.
Don Pablo. So these are the types of houses and villas, as you can see on both sides. That's the builder who built all the houses here. Tony, he's a friend of mine. He's a multi-millionaire Dominican. That was my old neighbor. They moved back to Spain, but they sold their house. And so you got all these houses here. These are homes owned mostly by expats, but also some Dominicans as well. So these are like upper middle class, lower upper class Dominicans, and a bunch of expats. So I'm gonna say it's probably about maybe 30-40% Dominicans that live here, and then the other 50-60% are Canadians, Germans, Russians, Americans that live here. You see, these are all the houses, different houses up and down. Let me slow down a little bit. See, that's a Dominican house. They got their Dominican flag. And then this is our main pool. It's a little community pool. And we're gonna park and we're gonna walk around so you can see the different styles. I'm gonna turn around and go back to my house real quick. I just want you to see the main pool. So that's just like
this is beautiful, guys. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's the community pool. But I'm gonna show you some of the different houses that they have out here. So, like this first style, I don't even know what it's called, Mediterranean style, whatever, I don't know. My house is this style, but it's 2 levels.
Which side, to the left or the right?
No, I'm gonna show you,
okay.
To the right. So, when they first came here, it looked like initially they were all 1 story. Most people were getting 1 story. That's all of these houses. But then when you get, so I mean, when we first came out here, look, we saw they were mostly all 1 story. But we started, they were mostly 1 story, and then, but we knew we wanted a 2 story, so and then that's 1, but these are 2 story, so 2 levels. So here, so like these up here in the front, mostly, I don't know. See, they're custom built. If you want a 1 story, he'll build you a 1 story. If you want a 2 story, he'll build you a 2 story. He would build you and charge you accordingly. It's up to you. Whatever you want, you pay for the lot, and then you pay for the type of house you want. And that's just your choice. Now these are relatively new, Razor. These are called Drake. This is called Drake Village. I know at one point the starting price was like $175. That's actually 3 bedrooms. So the first floor is the living room, kitchen, and a dining room. Then the second level is all 3 bedrooms. Then you see, you come outside on the side, and then you got steps that go up to. There's a rooftop deck, and most of them, I don't know if all of them, most of them have a jacuzzi on the rooftop deck, and they also have swimming pools in the back. So
Wow.
downstairs, there's a small pool in the back, and I think you got to pay extra for the jacuzzi, but that's up on the top. So you get a jacuzzi and then a small pool down at the bottom. So they all have that. But this is called Drake Village. These are, it's gonna be about 50 going down this street, and then there's another 20 at the bottom. So it'll be like 70. But when we came here, we were the first house on this street.
And how much are these Drake houses going for?
Anybody can look up Drake Village, Punta Cana.
Drake Village.
I don't want to say what the price is now. Like I said, when I knew it was like 175, that was a couple of years ago. So it might be, it might be a crazy different price now, because everything in Punta Cana has went up since we've come out of the I mean, hell, everything everywhere in DR has went up. And then, like I said, once you get your lot, you can do what you want with it. You know what I'm saying? They'll build the house on it, but then we're gonna get a shed put in the back, outdoor shed, stone, so we store some stuff that we want. So we cut back here and go up and go back past the Haitians again and get this space up.
Yes.
So here, these are the grapes. And this one, it'll probably be, it might be close to 100 of these when they're done. That'll be like, that's a neighborhood, that'll be called the Grape. These will be called the Recca. Then we'll be called Don Pablo. Somebody else will be called something else.
Yeah, so this whole entrance, this whole thing is Don Pablo Residential.
Pablo is the whole
So, but they have little sections inside Don Pablo Residential called different things. So, okay.
That's the same thing with Vista Cana. It'll be called Vista Cana. Then inside, different little neighborhoods. Cocotal, inside Cocotal, different neighborhoods. That's how a lot of them are. It's rarely, none that I've heard of where, because they're so big, is it just one developer and one neighborhood. So you'll have the overall neighborhood. Vista Cana is the overall neighborhood, and then you have little mini neighborhoods all throughout Vista Cana. Primavera this, blah blah this, Palma this, Palma that, all within Vista Cana. Same thing with Don Pablo, different little neighborhoods within Don Pablo. Same thing with Cocotal. Cocotal has about 50 little neighborhoods within Cocotal. Big wall going all the way around, 1,000, 2,000 houses, about 20, 30 different neighborhoods with different names because they were built by different developers. And the developer named the neighbor. Basically, if a developer builds 20 houses, he call it what the fuck he wants.
Yes, he want his
his
own personal name, you know.
Some kind of credit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That seems to be how they're doing. So like Drake Village, the builder name is Drake something. So Drake Village.
He got his credit.
Yeah. That's just kind of that's how they do it. That's not a bad thing too. And then also, at least that way, you're pushing your brand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's Drake such and such. So
right.
if he calls this Drake Village, the more people that live here and know about it, his brand is pushed.
Right.
So that's always a good thing. That's smart, that's brand marketing 101. Who the hell doesn't do that? As far as I know, everybody does it. These are custom builds. So he was building them one at a time as people bought them. And like I said, you see it's a nice, quiet neighborhood. Love it. So this is just, this is residential Don Pablo. So if anybody, every time I come, like, okay, residential Don Pablo. And then like I said, if you go out the main gate to the left is Epic Residence. That's another good place. People should look up Epic Residences, Punta Cana. But I heard that they're all sold out. I don't know. Because we wanted to go look and see. But that's That's what the people told us. I don't know if they were just bullshitting or not. But that's a beautiful project too. Apartments, condominiums, and some villas. Mostly apartments and condos. And then you go out and you go to that gate to the right. That's another huge area. Oh yeah, that's for sale. That's another huge area outside to the right. We call that Echo Del Mar. And you go in there, it's about I don't know, 15, 20 different 20 different developers. Hush, Roxy. Hush. 15, 20 different developers. And they got some apartments, but mostly villas in there. They said that gate was open. I take you in there and show you. It be open sometimes, sometimes it's closed. Me and my wife, we're looking at getting a lot there, in there, and building something on it. Just not sure what. But there's a couple of lots in there we're looking at. That the land is just like 35,000. Shit, I can't even read it. I don't know. I'll have to find out if the signs faded from the weather. But you see all of these, so they're gonna build one here, one here, one here. So that's gonna be built around there. And then there's even houses over there on the other side that's also here. So you see that one with the brick and that one, they're building those up too. So I'll try to get you the prices of all the different models. I mean, they've all went up substantially. Like I said, just as a reference point, in 2020, we got ours for 180. It's going for like 320 now. So, because I mean, that was pandemic. You know, we got ours in the heart of the pandemic when this motherfucker was shut down and they were almost giving away houses because no one was selling. Nobody was coming in. You know, we flew on the plane. It was like my wife and about 10 other people. Nobody wasn't fucking coming no DR.
Right.
It was because at that time, the in the heart of COVID, when we came down, like we had to be off the street at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we had to come out early in the morning, go look at houses, and then go back and get back inside because you know they was doing the rounding people up if you were caught on the street.
Yes, I remember all of that.
So
that time was hectic.
Yeah, it was hectic, but it was a great time to buy a fucking house.
Mm-hmm. And you hopped in on it.
Yeah, blind luck, but I was like, it was a great time. Myself and Troy.
Yes.
Same time. It was like
Tapped
we robbed them because it was like, hey, you could get whatever you want then at a great price. But like I was showing you when we were coming here, there's still a lot of choices. You can still get a villa, you know, maybe a little further out, Rome, some places like that, 150, 180. Probably a 2-bedroom, to be honest with you. And you definitely, like I told you, can get some kick-ass condos still. You know, like I said, we've seen them as low as, you know, 70. And when I said, they said, people are, oh, you get it for 40, 50. Yeah, you can get something for 40, $50,000. But I'll go back to my conversation we had last night. Ground chuck, sirloin. What do you want?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Is it all beef? Yeah. But ground chuck and a tomahawk or a T-bone ain't the same fucking thing.
There's levels to this.
It's levels. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not going to tell anybody that you can't get it. But you ain't going to get what I got for that price. You ain't going to get, you know, even what you could have got 2 years ago for that price anymore. The real estate values have jumped up. They might be a little overpriced, but they're not going to lower them. They just ain't. Good luck. I pray to God y'all can talk it down, but I don't think so. That's the back gate going to Verone if you got the back gate. But I love it too, you know, here. And then like here in this
watch out for this car.
development, we got a stiff HOA. It's like $180 a month. I don't care paying it because for me, my number one thing is safety. You know, and I'm gonna protect my wife at all costs. So what I love too is being in a neighborhood that, like in this neighborhood, look at it, fuck around, find out. come up in here and don't supposed to be here. I'm just telling you, you don't see a bunch of houses with bars on one. I've been here 4 years.
I noticed that no burglar bars in this.
No, because you don't have to. We all pay $180 a month. But that was a selling point for me when I came here, because I was like, I'm not living nowhere where I gotta see all this razor wire and all. Because like I said, when I'm looking outside of bars, I don't think about one place: prison. I fucking keep looking out my window all the time, and I see bars all the time. So I was like, I want somewhere. And the thing is, there are a lot of gated communities here that don't have bars on it. Cocotal don't have it. Great fucking security. And that's basically what it is. You're willing to pay. But then you go some places, oh, I don't pay but $5 a month HOA. Yeah, and that's why you got all the noise, the dogs, the chickens, the smell, motherfuckers breaking in your shit and everything like that. So I tell people, like, I don't begrudge them. I'm gonna pay. At nighttime, it's more quiet here than it is my house back home. We hear nothing because they strict about the noise ordinances. So all those things matter. So I tell people, when you think about making your purchases or your purchase, you might want to consider that. Granted, I tell everybody, and I know everybody ain't got all kinds of money. I'm fine with that. But I'm just sitting there saying is, if you're willing to say, hey, well, I don't care. All right, make sure you don't care. I'm fine with it. Once I go outside that gate, I'm with that bowdy. But when I come in that gate, it better be something different. And that's it. So it's heaven on earth for me for that.
Well said. And what part of Punta Cana will this be considered?
Overall, this is Bavaro. So this is everything. Here's the thing. And the actual true real Punta Cana is right outside the airport, Punta Cana Village, the Cap Cana area. Anything outside of that, half a mile, 200 feet, is now Bavaro. But believe it or not, all the resorts are outside of that. And they ain't calling themselves Bavaro. They calling themselves Punta Cana.
Right.
And so overall, the area is basically described as you'll hear them on the radio, Bavaro Punta Cana. They just tie them together, Bavaro Punta Cana. And if you describe it as just Bavaro, most people wouldn't know the area. You say Punta Cana, the motherfuckers can get right here.
Got you.
So that's why it's described as Bavaro Punta Cana, and primarily it's because of all the resorts, which runs that street along where downtown San Juan Shopping Center. So when you come downtown, like even up Uvero Alto and past Ruiz, they call that Macau Punta Cana. They'll say Macau Punta Cana. And they're like, that's even further. But it's to give you a reference point for an area. And the thing is, the area has expanded out. So it's like any metropolitan area, right? So you could say like New York City is New York City, but look at how much area outside of New York City, they still say New York City.
Right.
You got to get almost 100 miles away before they stop saying New York City.
Right.
Because it's like the what New York City proper is full. They ain't got no more space. Well, the next 5 miles around it is going to be considered New York. So cities grow as their populations grow.